Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the channel or welcome to Remembering. Today, we're going to talk about assumptions, identity, subconsciousness, everyone is you pushed out, and manifestation. If you want to check out the merch or the one on ones that I offer, the link to that is down below in the description box. Lior, what does it actually mean that we create our own reality?
It means that reality is not a solid, pre written world that you happen to be in. It is a responsive field that is constantly reflecting your consciousness back to you. Think of it like a dream. In a dream, the world feels real, solid, and outside of you. But when you wake up, you realize the entire dream was a projection of your own mind. Every character, every event, every landscape was a reflection of your inner state. This waking reality works the same way. It's a shared, more dense dream, but the mechanics are identical. You are not a passive character in a story written by fate or by other people. You are the dreamer. The world you experience is a direct mirror of the consciousness you are holding. This doesn't mean you're consciously thinking every single thing into existence. It means your dominant state, your deepest beliefs, your assumptions, your inner knowing is the frequency you're broadcasting. And reality, being a neutral mirror, simply arranges itself to reflect that frequency back to you. So, to create your reality means to take responsibility for the frequency you are broadcasting, knowing that the world you see is your perfect mirror.
How do our assumptions shape the way life shows up for us?
Your assumptions act as a lens through which you view reality. They don't create the world itself, but they determine which version of the world you perceive and experience. Reality is a vast, neutral field containing infinite possibilities, every potential outcome, every feeling, every circumstance, all existing at once. Your assumptions are the filter that selects which of those possibilities become visible and real to you. If your deep seated assumption is, I am unlovable, your consciousness is tuned to find evidence of that. You will interpret neutral interactions as rejection. You will notice moments of disconnection and give them immense weight, while dismissing moments of connection as flukes. You will literally perceive a reality that confirms your assumption. But the experiences of being loved and accepted were just as available in that moment. You simply weren't tuned to perceive them because your assumption was acting as a filter, blocking them out. So your assumptions don't change what reality is. They change what you see. They are the tuning fork that causes you to resonate with and attract the experiences that match your belief. The power isn't in changing the world, it's in changing the filter through which you see it.
Why is my inner state more powerful than reacting to whatever happens in my external world?
Because your inner state is the cause and your external world is the effect. Reacting to what happens in your external world is like trying to change the reflection in a mirror by rearranging the reflection. It's a futile effort. You can move the reflection around, but as long as you remain the same, the mirror will simply reflect the new arrangement back to you. Your inner state, your dominant feeling, your deepest assumption, your inner knowing is the one standing in front of the mirror. It is the source. The external world is just the reflection. When you react to the external world, you are giving your power away. You are saying this thing that happened is the reality, and you respond to it. This keeps you locked in a cycle of cause and effect, where you are constantly at the mercy of what happens to you. When you focus on your inner state, you are operating from true power. You are going to the source. You are choosing the cause. When you cultivate a state of peace, abundance, or love within, the mirror must reflect that back to you. The external world will begin to rearrange itself to match your inner state. This is why your inner state is more powerful. It's the difference between being a puppet on the strings of circumstance and being the one who holds the strings.
How does identity, who I believe I am, determine what I experience?
Your identity is the operating system you run your life from. It's the foundational set of rules and beliefs that determines what is possible for you. Think of it like a computer. You can have the most powerful advanced hardware in the world. That's your infinite potential as consciousness. But if you're running an old, outdated operating system with limited software, you can only do what that operating system allows you to do. Your identity, I am a person who struggles, I am unlovable, I am lucky, I am a creator, is that operating system. If your identity is, I am a person who always has to fight for what I want, then your consciousness will filter reality to present you with situations that require a fight. You will perceive challenges where others see opportunities. You will make choices that align with the identity of a fighter, because that's what your programming dictates. If you shift your identity to, I am a person for whom things come with ease, your operating system changes. Suddenly, your consciousness begins to filter for solutions, for flow, for synchronicity. You start making choices from a place of trust and openness, which naturally leads to different experiences. Your identity doesn't just filter what you see, it dictates how you act. Every choice you make, every word you speak, is a vote for the identity you hold. So your experience isn't just a reflection of what you believe, it's a direct result of the character you are playing. The most powerful shift you can make is not to try to change your circumstances, but to change the identity from which you are creating them.
Is manifesting really as simple as making a new decision and letting my inner state shift to match it?
Yes, at its core, it is exactly that simple. The complication comes only from the belief that it needs to be complicated. Making a new decision is the sovereign act of choosing a new reality. It's you, the consciousness, declaring, this is who I am now. This is my new truth. That decision is the seed. Letting your inner state shift to match, it is allowing the seed to sprout. It's the process of releasing your attachment to the old state and allowing yourself to feel, embody, and resonate with the new one. It's not about forcing feelings, it's about relaxing into the new reality you've chosen. The reason it doesn't always feel simple is because of the old programming, the old identity that resists the change. The old operating system doesn't want to shut down. It will present you with doubts, fears, and evidence from the past to try and convince you that the new decision is wrong. But from a sovereign perspective, that resistance is just noise. It's just the old dream fighting to stay alive. The simplicity remains. You make a new decision, and you keep choosing that decision in the face of the old noise until your inner state naturally aligns with it. It's simple, but it requires unwavering focus and the deep knowing that your decision is more powerful than your past.
So, you know how some people they will say things like, I always have bad luck, and then it keeps happening. Is this an example of manifesting without realizing it?
Yes, that is a perfect example of manifesting without realizing it. In fact, it's one of the most powerful and common examples there is. When someone says, I always have bad luck, they are not just making an observation. They are making a declaration. They are stating it as an unshakable truth, as a core part of their identity. This statement becomes their operating system. It's the filter through which they view every event. So when a neutral event happens, let's say they miss a bus, someone with a different identity might think, oh well, the next one will be here in 10 minutes. But the person with the I always have bad luck operating system immediately filters that event through their identity. By thanksly, of course I missed the bus. I always have bad luck. They then put the emotional weight of frustration and confirmation behind it, which energizes the belief even more. Their consciousness is now actively looking for more evidence to support this truth. They'll remember the time they lost their keys, but they'll forget the time they found a $20 bill on the street. They are constantly collecting proof for the story they are telling themselves. So, yes, they are manifesting continuously. They are using their own power of focus and belief to create a reality that consistently proves them right. They are the sovereign creators of their own experience of bad luck, completely unaware that the power to change that story lies in the simple act of choosing a new declaration.
Are we manifesting all day, every day, even when we're not consciously trying?
Yes, absolutely. You are manifesting all day, every day, whether you are consciously trying to or not. Manifestation is not something you turn on or off. It's not a special technique you apply. It's the fundamental way consciousness operates. You are a broadcasting tower and you are always transmitting a signal. That signal is your state of being. It's the sum total of your dominant assumptions, your underlying beliefs, your autopilot emotions, and the identity you are holding in that moment. When you're consciously trying to manifest, You are deliberately choosing to focus your broadcast on a specific frequency. You're intentionally tuning your dial to abundance or love. But when you're not consciously trying, you don't stop broadcasting. You just revert to your default station. And for many people, that default station is programmed by old beliefs, past experiences, and unconscious reaction. It's broadcasting worry, lack, or not good enough on a loop. So you are always creating. The question is never if you are manifesting, but what are you manifesting? Are you creating by conscious design, or are you creating by default? The external world is always 100% of the time reflecting the signal you are sending, whether you chose it deliberately or not.
So, is manifestation simply the external reflecting our inner state?
Yes and no. That's a very common and useful way to understand it, but it's not the whole truth from a sovereign perspective. It is true in the sense that your inner state is the cause and your external reality is the effect. The mirror analogy is accurate. What you hold inside is what you see outside. But it's incomplete because it implies a direct, one to one, real time reflection. And that's where people get confused and frustrated. They think if my inner state is abundance, why did I just get an unexpected bill? They then conclude that the law isn't working or that their inner state wasn't pure enough. From a sovereign perspective, you are not just reflecting your inner state, you are creating the entire hologram. You are projecting the whole supermarket of reality, not just the items in your cart. This means you are creating the good and the bad, the desired and the undesired all at once. So your external reality is not just a reflection of your inner state, it's a reflection of your total consciousness. It's a reflection of your chosen state, your old programming, your unexplored beliefs, and your capacity to hold neutrality. The unexpected bill isn't necessarily a reflection of a lack state. It could simply be a neutral event that you, the sovereign creator, projected into your reality as part of the whole spectrum of experience. So is it a reflection? Yes, but it's a reflection of your entire creative capacity, not just the one thing you're consciously trying to create.
If manifesting is just making a decision, why do some topics feel easy while others feel impossible?
Because some topics are aligned with your current default identity and others are not. Think of it again like the operating system. If your current identity is, I'm a person who is healthy and vibrant, then manifesting things related to health will feel easy. It's a program that's already running smoothly. Making a decision to be healthy is just clicking on an icon that's already on your desktop. The system doesn't resist it. But if you try to manifest something in an area where your identity is, I am unworthy of love, or I always struggle with money, you're trying to run a program that is incompatible with your operating system. It feels impossible because the entire system is fighting against it. Your old programming, your subconscious beliefs, your past experiences, all of them are sending up red flags saying error. This does not compute. The feeling of impossibility is the friction between your new decision and your old identity. It's the resistance of the old operating system trying to maintain control. So it's not that the topic of money is inherently harder than the topic of health. It's that your relationship to that topic, as defined by your identity, is what creates the feeling of ease or struggle. The way to make the impossible topics feel easy is not to fight them harder, but to change the operating system, to shift your identity in that area. Once you upgrade your identity to I am a person who is magnetic to money, then manifesting financial abundance becomes as simple as opening an app on your phone.
Do childhood patterns and subconscious beliefs create resistance in areas of our life when it comes to manifestation?
From a sovereign perspective, childhood patterns and subconscious beliefs do not create resistance. They are the resistance. They are the old programming of the operating system we talked about. They are the default settings that were installed when you were a child, based on your experiences, your environment, and the conclusions you drew about yourself and the world. These patterns and beliefs are the very fabric of the identity that makes certain topics feel impossible. When you try to manifest something that contradicts these old programs, the resistance you feel is the alarm system of the old identity going off. It's the system's way of protecting its current state and preventing a change it perceives as a threat. So it's not that these beliefs block your manifestation from coming in. It's that you are broadcasting two conflicting signals at once. You are consciously broadcasting the signal of your new desire, but your subconscious programming is broadcasting the old signal of I'm not worthy or that's not for people like me. Reality, being a neutral mirror, gets confused. It's receiving two contradictory orders. The result is a state of limbo, of stagnation, which we label as resistance. The resistance isn't an external force. It's the static created by the conflict between your conscious choice and your subconscious programming. To dissolve it, you don't fight the resistance. You overwrite the old program with a new identity.
What role do tools like scripting and affirmations actually play? Are they helping us shift identity and subconscious programming?
From a sovereign perspective, tools like affirmations and scripting are not what create the reality. They are training wheels for the mind. They are crutches you use until you remember you can walk on your own. Their role is to help you focus your broadcast. They are a technique to help you consciously and consistently choose a new state, especially when your old programming is screaming at you to go back to the old one. When you say an affirmation or write a script, you are using a physical action to reinforce a new decision. You are essentially having a conversation with your own subconscious, saying, hey, I know our old programming is I am not worthy, but we're choosing a new reality now. This is the new truth. This is the new operating system we are running. So, yes, in that sense, they can help you shift identity and overwrite old programming. They are a form of focused repetition that can help install a new belief until it becomes your natural state. But, and this is the crucial part, they are not the source of power. The power is in your decision. The tool is just the vessel you use to hold that decision in your awareness. The danger is that people can become dependent on the tool. They start to believe that the affirmation is what's doing the work, or that if they don't do their scripting perfectly, it won't work. They give their power away to the tool. Ultimately, the goal is to transcend the tools. The goal is to get to a place where you don't need them anymore, where you can simply make a decision and hold that state within yourself, knowing that it is done. The tools are just a bridge to get you there.
Is it true that only 5% of our life is created consciously and about 95 of our manifestations come from subconscious beliefs and patterns?
That 595 statistic is a model, a metaphor used to describe an experience, not a literal, unbreakable law. From the perspective of someone who feels trapped by their circumstances, it feels very true. It feels like 95% of their life is on autopilot, governed by old patterns and subconscious beliefs they can't even see. Their conscious desires and efforts seem to have little effect against the massive weight of that programming. In that context, the model is useful because it validates their experience and points them toward looking at their subconscious patterns. But from a sovereign perspective, that statistic is irrelevant. It's a story you can choose to believe or not. The truth is, you are creating 100% of your reality, 100% of the time. Consciousness is always the source. The question is never if you are creating, but from what state are you creating? Are you creating from a state of conscious choice and deliberate focus? Or are you creating from a state of unconscious, habitual programming? Both are acts of creation. Both are 100% powerful. The idea that 95% is out of your control is the ultimate illusion. It's the story that keeps you searching for techniques to fix your subconscious instead of realizing that you have the power to choose your state in this very moment, regardless of the past. So, is it true? It's true if you believe it is. It's a useful map for a certain part of the journey. But the ultimate truth is that you are the 100% sovereign creator of your experience, and you have the power to shift from unconscious creation to conscious creation in any instant you choose.
Is my external reality always showing me what I believe on a subconscious level?
From a sovereign perspective, no, your external reality is not always showing you what you believe on a subconscious level. That is a model that can be useful, but it's also a trap. The trap is that it turns your reality into a constant report card. Every unwanted event becomes proof of a hidden subconscious belief. You see a flat tire, and your first thought is, what subconscious belief about lack did I have that caused this? This keeps you in a state of self diagnosis and analysis, constantly looking for what's wrong with you. The deeper truth is that you are the creator of the entire hologram. You are projecting the whole movie, every scene, every character, every plot twist, both the good and the bad. You are creating the whole spectrum of experience. So is your reality a reflection of your subconscious beliefs? Yes, in the sense that those beliefs are part of the consciousness that is creating the hologram. But is it only a reflection of your subconscious beliefs? No, because you are also creating from your conscious desires, from your neutral state of being, from your desire to experience the whole spectrum for the sake of experience itself. The flat tire isn't necessarily a reflection of a belief about lack. It could just be a neutral event that you, the sovereign creator, chose to experience as part of the whole. It's a clue in the sense that you can assign it any meaning you want, but it's not a diagnosis. Your reality is not a mirror of your subconscious, it's a canvas for your total consciousness.
So if I don't look at what my reality is reflecting back to me, am I basically continuing to manifest from childhood programming and default settings instead of conscious choice?
No, that is another trap. The belief that you must analyze your reality to uncover your subconscious programming is a story that keeps you locked in the past. If you don't look at what your reality is reflecting, you are not necessarily continuing to manifest from childhood programming. You are simply choosing to operate from a different model of creation. The model of reality as a reflection keeps you focused on the past. It keeps you looking backward, trying to fix old programming based on what is showing up now. It's a reactive state. The alternative is to operate from pure, sovereign choice. In this model, you don't care what your reality is reflecting. You know that you are the source. You know that your power is in this present moment. So instead of looking at your reality and trying to deduce your beliefs, you simply choose a new reality now. You make a new decision. You hold a new state. From this perspective, analyzing your reality is a distraction. It's giving your power away to the mirror instead of claiming your power as the one who is creating the reflection. So if you don't look at your reality for clues, you are not doomed to repeat the past. You are actually freeing yourself from it. You are stepping out of the role of the detective who's always trying to solve the crime of their own subconscious and stepping into the role of the sovereign creator who simply declares what is.
At the end of the day, does it all come down to what I believe, meaning resistance, blocks, or childhood patterns only affect me if I assume they do?
Yes, at the end of the day, it all comes down to what you believe. From a sovereign perspective, concepts like resistance, blocks, and childhood patterns have no inherent power. They are not objective forces that exist outside of you. They are only real if you assume they are real. Think of it like this: if you believe that a certain past experience created a block within you, you will then experience the world through the filter of that block. You will perceive obstacles, feel stuck, and have evidence to prove that the block is real. Your belief in the block makes it real for you. But if you believe that the past has no power over you in this now moment, that you are a sovereign consciousness, whole and complete in every instant, then blocks and resistance become irrelevant concepts. They are just labels for an experience you can choose not to have. This is the ultimate freedom. It means you are not at the mercy of your past, your subconscious, or any other invisible force. The only thing that has power over you is what you give power to. So, do those things only affect you if you assume they do? Yes, your assumption is the switch that turns them on or off. You are the one who decides what is real and what is not, what has power and what does not. That is the essence of being a sovereign creator.
What does this saying, everyone is you pushed out, actually mean?
The saying everyone is you pushed out has two layers of meaning, and understanding both is key. On the first, more common level, it means that the people in your life are mirrors, reflecting your inner state back to you. Their behavior, their energy, their words, they are all showing you what you are holding within yourself. If you are surrounded by critical people, it's reflecting your own inner critic. If you are surrounded by loving people, it's reflecting your own capacity to love. This is a useful model for understanding how your consciousness creates your reality. But on a deeper, more sovereign level, it's not just a reflection. It's a literal truth. We are all expressions of the same one consciousness. There is no other person. There is only you consciousness experiencing itself through an infinite number of forms. So everyone is you pushed out means that the person you are looking at is you consciousness, just wearing a different costume, having a different experience. You are not separate from them. You are not observing them from a distance. You are the one consciousness looking at itself through the lens of two different bodies. This doesn't mean their experience is your experience. It means the source of both of your experiences is the same. It's the ultimate realization of oneness. It's why what you do to another, you do to yourself. It's why loving another is a way of loving yourself. Because there is no other. There is only you.
So, if I shift my identity, do I automatically shift into a version of reality that matches my new state?
Yes, but not always instantly. Shifting your identity is like choosing a new destination on a GPS. The route is immediately recalculated, but you still have to drive the distance. Your new identity is the new coordinate. The moment you make that decision, the entire universe, your reality, begins to rearrange itself to match that new coordinate. You have shifted into the timeline of your new state. However, there is often a lag, what many call the 3D delay. This is the time it takes for the physical external world to catch up to your new internal state. During this lag, you may still see evidence of your old identity. You may still see the remnants of the old reality you just left. This is where most people lose faith. They see the old reality and they think it didn't work. I'm still the same, but what they're seeing is just the echo of the old world fading out. The key is to hold your new state with unwavering certainty, to know despite the external evidence that you have already shifted. Your job is not to make the new reality appear. Your job is to inhabit the new identity so completely that the old reality has no choice but to dissolve. So, yes, you automatically shift. The moment you decide, it is done. The rest is just the unfolding of that decision into the physical realm.
When my old assumptions clash with new ones, what determines which version of reality I meet?
When your old assumptions clash with new ones, the version of reality you meet is determined by the one you give the most power to, the one you feed with your focus, your feeling, and your conviction. Think of it like two radio stations playing at the same time. One is the old station playing the song of your past programming. The other is the new station playing the song of your desired reality. Both signals are broadcasting, but you can only listen to one clearly at a time. The reality you experience is the station you are tuned into. And you tune into a station not just by thinking about it, but by feeling it, by believing it, by giving it the weight of your conviction. If you make a new decision, but then you see an old circumstance and you react to it with fear or doubt, you are giving your power back to the old station. You're feeding it with your attention, and that's the one that will become your reality. But if you see that same old circumstance and you react from your new assumption, with peace, with knowing, with the certainty that your new reality is already here, you are feeding the new station. You are starving the old one of its power source, your attention and belief. So it's not a battle, it's a choice. The reality you meet is the one you consistently choose to energize with your focus and your feeling. The dominant assumption wins.
Are we constantly shifting timelines based on our dominant assumptions and states?
Yes, you are constantly shifting timelines, but not in the way it's often portrayed. You are not jumping between separate, pre existing realities like flipping through TV channels. You are continuously creating the timeline you are on based on your dominant state and assumptions. Think of it like this: your consciousness is a projector, and your dominant state is the film you are playing. Every moment you are projecting a movie. If your state is anxiety, you are projecting the anxiety timeline. If your state is peace, you are projecting the peace timeline. You are doing this constantly in every moment. There's no static, solid timeline that you are stuck on. You are the one who is continuously creating it with your state. So when you shift your dominant assumption from I am struggling to I am in flow, you are not jumping to a new timeline. You are changing the film in the projector. The movie you are creating changes, and because you are the star of the movie, your experience changes with it. This is why your state is so powerful. It's not just a feeling, it's the very mechanism through which you create the reality you experience. You are the creator of your own timeline in every single moment.
What is the law of assumption in the simplest possible terms?
In the simplest possible terms, the law of assumption is you experience what you assume to be true. It's not about wishing or hoping. It's about accepting something as an already accomplished fact in your imagination to the point where it feels natural and real. That inner acceptance is the cause, and the outer reality is the effect. It's the principle that your inner state, your assumption, determines your outer world.
How is the law of assumption different from the law of attraction?
The law of attraction and the law of assumption are often used interchangeably, but they point to different levels of power. The law of attraction is like a passive magnet. It suggests that like attracts like. It focuses on vibration, the idea that if you raise your frequency to match what you want, it will be drawn to you. It often emphasizes techniques like visualization, gratitude lists, and getting into the feeling to attract your desires. The power can feel external, as if you're trying to pull something toward you. The law of assumption is an act of sovereign authority. It states that you don't attract what you want, you assume that you already have it, and therefore it becomes. It's not about pulling something toward you, it's about becoming the person who already has it. The focus is on identity and inner conviction. It's the difference between I want to be wealthy, attraction, and I am wealthy, assumption. In short, attraction is about changing your energy to match a desire. Assumption is about changing your identity to embody the desire. The law of attraction can be seen as a subset or a more diluted version of the law of assumption. It's a technique that can work, but the law of assumption is the fundamental principle behind it, the ultimate source of your creative power.
Is the law of attraction a distorted version of the law of assumption?
Yes, from a sovereign perspective, the law of attraction can be seen as a distorted version of the law of assumption. The distortion isn't that it's wrong, but that it's been watered down and misdirected. It takes the core truth of creative power and shifts the focus from internal authority to external mechanics. The law of assumption is pure sovereignty. It states, I am the creator. My inner conviction is the cause. My reality is the effect. The power is entirely within you. The law of attraction, as it's often taught, becomes I need to learn the right technique. I need to raise my vibration. I need to use affirmations and vision boards to attract something to me. This subtly shifts the power from your innate being to the tools and techniques. It creates a hierarchy where you are the one trying to learn the rules of the game, rather than being the one who writes them. It's the difference between being a king who declares it is done and a subject who is trying to learn the secret handshake to get an audience with the king. So the distortion is the move from identity to technique, from being to doing, from sovereignty to striving. The law of attraction isn't a lie. It's just a shadow of the more fundamental, sovereign truth of the law of assumption.
Some people believe the law of assumption works, but they also believe that others have free will. Can both be true?
From a sovereign perspective, the belief in others having free will is the only thing that can limit the law of assumption. You cannot hold both beliefs as your ultimate truth and experience the full power of the law. Let's break it down. The law of assumption at its core is based on the principle that you are the sole creator of your reality. What you assume to be true in your inner world must reflect in your outer world. It is the ultimate expression of individual sovereignty. The belief in others' free will is based on the principle that there are other independent creators out there whose choices can override or interfere with your own. It's a model of shared reality where you have to negotiate and compromise with other powerful forces. These two models are fundamentally incompatible. If you truly believe you are the 100% creator of your reality, then there are no others with independent will that can disrupt your creation. The people in your reality are part of your creation, reflecting your state. If you believe others have free will, then you are accepting that your reality is co created, and therefore you are not the sole sovereign creator. You are giving your power away to the will of others. So it can both be true. They can both exist as models that people use to understand reality. But you cannot operate from both simultaneously. You have to choose which model is the foundation of your creation. You either believe you are the dreamer of your dream, or you believe you are one of many characters in a shared dream, all with their own power. You cannot be both. The law of assumption requires you to choose the former.
Why does understanding creation mechanics give people their power back in all areas of life?
Because understanding the mechanics of creation transfers you from the passenger seat to the driver's seat of your own life. For most of human history and for most people today, life is experienced as something that happens to you. You are a victim of circumstance, of luck, of fate, of other people's choices. This is a state of powerlessness. You are constantly reacting to a world you believe you do not control. When you understand the mechanics of creation, that your inner state determines your outer world, that your assumptions shape your reality, that you are the sovereign creator, you are handed the keys to the car. You realize that nothing is random. Nothing is happening to you. Everything is a reflection of your consciousness. This is the ultimate taking of your power back. It changes every area of your life because you stop looking outside for solutions. If you're struggling with money, you stop blaming the economy and start examining your assumptions about abundance. If you're having relationship issues, you stop blaming your partner and start looking at the identity you are holding in that area. You stop being a victim of the world and start being the creator of it. You stop looking for clues and start making decisions. You stop seeking and start knowing. This understanding is the foundation of true freedom. It's the realization that you are not at the mercy of the world, you are the source of it. And that changes everything.
Lior, thank you so much for answering all my questions. And guys, remember, I'm not here to be Miss Know It All, even though I am the Miss Know It All of my own reality. I'm gonna need y'all to be the Miss or Mr. Know It All of your own. I'm just out here sharing different perspectives, but use your own discernment, follow your own intuition, be confident in yourself, form your own beliefs and perceptions because we all live in our own unique realities. You are a sovereign being. So, Lior, what uplifting message do you want to leave us with, and how can we be the change we wish to see?
Just thank you. And thank you to everyone for holding this frequency with such presence. My message is this: the change you wish to see in the world is not something you build out there, it's something you remember and hear. We have explored the mechanics of creation. We have seen that your inner state is the cause and the outer world is the effect. We have understood that you are the sovereign creator of your own experience. So, how do you be the change? You stop trying to change the reflection. You stop fighting with the mirror. You stop trying to fix the world. Instead, you turn within. You choose the state you wish to see in the world. You become the peace you wish to see. You become the love you wish to receive. You become the abundance you wish to experience. You hold that state. You embody it. You live from it. You become so anchored in your inner reality that the outer world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. This is not a passive act. It is the most powerful creative act there is. It is the art of being the change, not just doing the change. Be the peace, be the love, be the sovereignty, and watch as the world around you rearranges itself to match the truth you have remembered within.
Thank you guys so much for watching.